Okay, so we've just gone through now and we have reviewed and hopefully you've used your notes and some of those textbook pages, maybe even some of the workbook pages that you've read to go through and complete this study guide to review the forms of energy. So we're going to go through in this video together and kind of check over your work, and hopefully that will answer any questions that you may have before you guys wrap up this unit on basic forms of energy. So this is interesting right here. Look, water is known as hydroelectric. So just something else to kind of keep in mind, hydroelectric. We see here a picture of a stereo, right? Like a radio, and I see here this electrical outlet. So I know that it's using electricity. So electricity then changes into, well, think about what's coming or produced from a radio. Right, we listen to that for music, or I don't know, some people listen to other things, but definitely changing into sound energy. If you just wrote sound, that is okay. Now let's look at this example. Now we're thinking of the television set. Again, I can see that electrical plug here, so I know that the TV is using electricity. But then I want you guys thinking, what energy is it changing into? It produces sound, obviously. We have to be able to hear what the people are saying on the TV. Also producing light, so light energy, as it lights up and illuminates the TV so that we can see what's happening on the screen. So now let's go back and let's talk briefly about mechanical energy and revisit a couple of those terms. We know that mechanical energy refers to the total of stored energy and motion together. So there's two words that we use to describe stored and motion, and they are potential. So an object has potential energy. And then we see this example here. So you were told to circle one. So an object with potential or stored energy, is that going to refer to a hand that is waving or a book that is resting or sitting on a table? Right, it's kind of like if I set this pen down right now, it has potential, right? It has the potential to do something or make change or produce energy. So an example here would refer to a book on a table. Now, once that pen or that book is in motion, it changes from potential to, you got it. If you're thinking about that example of the roller coaster that we did before, then we know that it is kinetic. So an example of kinetic energy, let's see here. Is it going to be a car that is resting or sitting in place or spinning wheels? Well, obviously, if it's in motion, then we're referring to the spinning wheels. Let's take a look at this example, another basic form of energy. So this is an example of a lamp, if you could not tell by the drawing. And I see here that it does have one of those electrical cords. So we know that we're using, again, electricity. And it's changing into light. We have light energy that's being produced from the light bulb to illuminate the space. So now we have the last part of our study guide, a quick review of renewable and non-renewable resources. So when we're talking about the production of energy, sometimes we refer to non-renewable resources. Now this means that once they run out, they run out. You cannot renew or create or generate them again. They're just gone. Some examples of non-renewable resources include gasoline, coal, and a very popular oil. So I want you guys now to think, what's the purpose of using these non-renewable resources, such as gasoline, coal, and oil? Like we think we add gasoline to our car, right? And basically that helps take our car from that state of potential energy to then kinetic and even mechanical energy. So what is it that they release? Well, when they're burned, right, when we burn these fossil fuels, they're burned to release, if you guessed energy, you are correct. So unlike non-renewable, now we can talk about some renewable resources, which means they are replaceable. So they have the ability to be replaced. Well, we know that a few of those examples are water, right? And we call that hydroelectric. So I'm just going to write that down. Wind. And we also know that a lot of homes and businesses are starting to use solar energy. So using the light and the heat from the sun to then produce energy. Great. Let me know if you guys have any questions about any of this study guide, any of these questions that we've just gone through. We will do a few other questions together before you guys wrap up this unit on basic forms of energy. Great job.